Hi, good day everyone. My name is Stephanie Bernaldez and I am from SEE 05A, and we're going to talk about Beowulf, an old English literature, and we will get to know what the poem is about. So let's get to know the background. Beowulf is one of the most important works of Old English literature, composed between the 8th and 11th century. The poem is set in Scandinavia and tells the story of its hero Beowulf, who fought against the formidable monsters. It is the oldest surviving epic poem in the English language, and it is written in Old Language, the language of the Saxons. It is composed as early as circa 700 and evolved through many retellings before it was written down, and the earliest known owner of the manuscript is the 16th century scholar Lawrence Nowell. So let's get started, and let me tell you about the summary of the story. So first, before we get head on to the story, let's get to know the uh, main characters of this poem, and I did not include everyone or every character in this poem, for we will get to know them later. So first we have Hrothgar, the king of the kingdom of Danes; Beowulf, the young warrior who defeated Grendel; and then Grendel, who killed 30 men at Heret, and who is also the antagonist of the story. So First is first of the events is uh, the threat of Grendel. So the story began in Denmark, where King Hrothgar made a grand mead hall called Heret, and it was terrorized by Grendel, a monstrous creature who despised the joy and noise of the hall. So then Grendel attacked Heret nightly, killing many of Hrothgar's warrior. And this Grendel. This is how he attacked. So Grendel then began to attack Heret nightly, killing and devouring Hrothgar's warrior, leaving the hall deserted, and the kingdom was in despair. So Grendel clawed and killed 30 men, carrying their bleeding bodies to his dark lair. Night after night it was the same. He killed Hrothgar's people wherever he found them, and for 12 long years, Heret stood empty and everyone perished. Not literally everyone, but none of the warriors dared or wanted to stand up or even fight against Grendel. Not until Beowulf. So Beowulf, after hearing Hrothgar's plight, Beowulf, a young warrior of the Geats, set sail from his homeland of Geatland, modern-day Sweden, to Denmark, together with his 14 brave men. Beowulf was determined to help Hrothgar, for Hrothgar had once helped his father, Beowulf's father, once named Ecgtheow. So Hrothgar welcomed Beowulf with great hopes that the Geatish hero could defeat the monster Grendel, and on the night of Beowulf's arrival, a great feast was held in Heret. So then they rejoiced, and Beowulf boasted of his past achievements and vowed to defeat Grendel with only his bare hands. And that night, Grendel attacked Heret, and this and Beowulf was ready for what's about to happen. So Beowulf confronts Grendel and Heret. During the fierce battle, Beowulf manages to uh, rip off Grendel's arm with his bare hands. Mortally wounded, Grendel flees to his lair and dies, and Beowulf hangs Grendel's arm in Heret as a trophy. So he killed Grendel, but Grendel's mother did not accept this, and Grendel's mother had her revenge. So Grendel's mother, enraged by his death, her son's death, he attacked Heret to avenge Grendel. She then kills she kills Hrothgar's trusted advisor, Ashira, Ashira, and retrieves Grendel's arm. So yeah, so Hrothgar then mourned, and Beowulf vowed to kill Grendel's mother, and then it led them to the dark lair where Beowulf entered to fulfill his promise. So this is what we imagined, uh, what Grendel's lair and his mother look like. And it's like a swamp. It's a murky lake where you can see how dark it is. Okay, so next. And then in the ensuing battle, Beowulf discovers that his sword wasn't effective against Grendel's mother, so he then finds an ancient giant sword in the lair and used it to kill Grendel's mother, and also beheaded Grendel's corpse for good measure. I think this was because he wanted to make sure that he killed both of them. So then he was successful in killing both the mother and Grendel using the ancient sword. But before they entered the lair, Unfert gave him a sword which is called Runting, and then that's how he knew that Runting, that sword that he used, was ineffective against Grendel's mother. Okay, so then, uh, yeah, so Beowulf returned to Heorot with both Grendel's head and his mother's head as trophies, and Hrothgar gave Beowulf a golden banner, a helmet, and a coat of mail, along with many fine treasures. So Beowulf returned to Geatland now, and he was rewarded by Hagelak with 7,000 cattle, a a princely throne, and a portion of a land. So after defeating Grendel's mother, Beowulf returned to Geatland, where he was rewarded with treasures and eventually became the king of the Geats, and he ruled for 50 years. And his reign was marked by peace and prosperity. So, um, as Beowulf aged, he faced his greatest challenge, which is the dragon guarding a treasure hoard. So in his old age, Beowulf faces a new challenge when a dragon, angered by the theft of a gold cup from his hoard, begins to terrorize his kingdom. Beowulf decided to confront the dragon to protect his people. So the dragon knew that its treasure had been touched, that a gold cup was gone, so it caused a widespread destruction in Beowulf's kingdom. Beowulf, determined to protect his people, now an aged king, he decided to confront the dragon himself. So this is what it looks like. He was wondering where the gold cup was, and Beowulf, accompanied by 11 warriors, faced the dragon, and all but one of his warriors flee in fear. Only Wiglaf, a young and loyal kinsman, remained to fight the dragon together with Beowulf. So together they managed to kill the dragon, but at this point Beowulf is fatally wounded, maybe because of his age and his strength. It wasn't the same as it was before. So then again, every one of these warriors fled out of fear except for Wiglaf, which is one of his people or warriors, and they fought the dragon together. So so this is another picture representation where you can see the dragon is angered by Beowulf and the theft where they were fighting. So as he lies dying, Beowulf asked Will Wiglaf to bring him some of the dragon's treasure, and he instructed his people to build, and this was his last words: after they burn my body, tell my warriors to build a great burial mound on a cliff overlooking the sea, so that sailors can see it and remember him. And after Beowulf's death, his people mourned him and carried out his final wishes, building a barrow in his honor. and that is the end of this the story of Beowulf. He then died because of his old age and because of the dragon. And Wiglaf, well, I think he entrusted Wiglaf about the about what he should do and the people do with his body. So for the conclusion of the story, it centers around the themes of heroism, mortality, and legacy. And after a long and prosperous reign as king, Beowulf faced his final challenge when a dragon threatens his kingdom. And the epic ends with Beowulf's death and mourning of his people who fear for the future without their brave leader. The story concludes with a sense of both loss and admiration, as Beowulf's legacy as a great hero and protector is solidified. But his death also marks the end of an era. His life served as an enduring example of values of bravery, loyalty, and the pursuit of eternal fame in the face of inevitable mortality. That is the end. Thank you for listening.